Have you ever been walking around with your camera, spotted a shot that would make an amazing photo, but couldn't get past that discomfort, so you ended up missing this shot? At first, I want you to know that you're not alone with this, and this happens to many of us. There are a lot of reasons behind this discomfort and fear, and in this video I want to share with you why this happens and give you possible solutions. I'll also share practical tips that by the end of this video will hopefully help you feel more comfortable in your street photography, allowing you to capture shots that you might have otherwise missed. So let's get started. One of the main reasons I personally avoid taking photos of people on the street is because I don't want to make them uncomfortable and disturb them. At first I thought it was just shyness, but over time I understood that it's not that I don't want to be seen, I don't want to make people feel uncomfortable while me taking their photos. And because of these uncomfortable feelings, I tend to photograph other things on the street. And I like this type of photography more because I feel more comfortable, I feel more relaxed, and I don't have the pressure of people feeling uncomfortable because of me. But photographing people on the street is a whole different story. It requires a different set of skills, of quick decisions, and many times luck. And even if I'm in the right time, in the right place, and I see someone unique passing by, I need to overcome this stress of picking up my camera in front of a complete stranger and take their photos. And this person might not be okay with that. There were times in the past that people said to me to not take their photos, and I felt really uncomfortable that I made them feel uncomfortable. But it's something you need to be prepared if you're going for this style of photography. If you feel a similar discomfort, know that it's absolutely normal. It just shows that you have a good sense of self-awareness and empathy for others, which is a good thing. And it's also okay to miss a couple of shots, especially in the beginning, and you don't have to beat yourself up if you missed a couple of shots that you thought they will be great. This, like anything else, is a skill that develops over time. And in my opinion, you need to practice a lot overcoming this inner challenge. Even in the same day that you're shooting, in the beginning it might feel harder than in the rest of the day after you took some shots and got used to this feeling. Personally, I like to ease this process in by photographing people from behind their back at first, and also sometimes I will go far away and take their photos from a long distance and then crop it later in post. This is one of the reasons why I love my Leica Q3, because of this 60 megapixel that allows me to crop so much and still get a great image quality. Remember that if you're staying just on this approach of taking photos of stuff on the street that are not portraits, if you're just taking photos of people from behind, from far away, buildings, roads, everything else is also street photography. And there are a lot of great and amazing photographers who are doing just this type of photography, and it's really something you need to know if it's right for you or not, and if it's satisfying your art or you really want to go into portraits. And if you do want to take portraits of people, there is one method that I use that is the most comfortable for me, so maybe this will help you too. So the first instinct we have when we take someone's photo is to look at him, take the photo, and then look at him again to see if he noticed us taking his photos. So although that's our first instinct, the next time you're taking someone's photo, try to look behind them after you took the photo. They will think that you didn't take their photos, you just photographed something else. And this avoiding of eye contact really, for me personally, putting down the pressure on the situation and make things much more casual. So try this technique next time you photograph someone and see if you feel more comfortable and you can pass that discomfort more easily. And even if someone does say something to you, you quickly realize it's not such of a big deal as you thought. People tend to forget this situation a few seconds after they happened, and you're the only one who care about the situation most of the time. That awkwardness moment is lasting for only a few seconds, and it's really worth it if afterwards you came up with a shot that you're happy with. If your discomfort comes more from shyness, so I think a great way to try to overcome this is using your phone for street photography to practice. Nowadays, people take photos with their phones everywhere. And I think that if you standing in a distance from someone and pick up your phone instead of your camera, people will less care and less notice you outside. Your mobile phone draws much less attention than any other camera, so you might practice with your phone, so eventually you will get more comfortable using your DSLR, mirrorless, whatever camera you're using. As I said on one of my videos, I started my street photography with the Ricoh GR3. This camera is so small and compact, so people didn't notice it on the street that much. And I know for a fact that carrying around this camera with me everywhere is something that practiced me to feel much more comfortable over time, and eventually being okay with carrying a bigger camera like the Leica Q3 or even my Canon R5 when I had it back in the days. And I think if you practice your phone, even if you just take a few photos each day, I know that after a few days and after a few weeks or months, you definitely will feel much more comfortable taking up your camera on the streets. So I believe the key is progress and not perfection. I really don't believe anyone starts this style of photography and immediately feel comfortable doing this. It's something that requires a lot of practice, a lot of fights with yourself outside. And eventually I think that if you really want to do this type of photography, you can overcome these stressful moments and awkwardness on the street. And I know for me that every time I overcome something like this, like talking to a camera and put myself on a YouTube channel, and also walking around on the street taking photos of strangers, is really something that made me feel better about myself and feel like I've progressed as a person. So just keep trying, and I really want to hear from you on the comments if you feel the same way, if you related to what I said, and how do you overcome your stress on the street. Subscribe to the channel, like the video if you did. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next time. Bye bye.